All right, I'm back again with more ways that you can get your time back. Have you done the homework I assigned last time to find out what do you really want? Because if you've not found out what you really want and what you want to do at this time, then anything and everything can become a priority. And if you don't have your priorities aligned, there's no way this video is going to help you at all. But for those of you who have figured out your priorities and you want to just get better, here are 3 ways that you can get better with getting your time back. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to set clear goals. With the time you set aside, don't be like me and put it on a calendar and then let it blow by. Instead, from now on, whenever you put something on your calendar, number 1, put the earliest start time possible, yet allowing time for error. If you think there's a chance you can get started on that task a little bit late, then put that actual start time on your calendar. Lastly, put the finish time on your calendar. Determine, like I said before, when you're going to end. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. But when you do that, what I really want you to do is put the start time, and then in the notes section, write in your clear goals. What do you expect to accomplish in that short block of time? One of the things that Jim Quick talks about, he's an author who helps you get your time back in terms of being more efficient and learning. One of the things he talks about is the importance of time blocking. Your brain can only do so much for so long. It's a machine. It overheats. It gets burned out. That's why getting your diet right makes a big difference. I talked about that in the other video. Make sure you watch it. I give lots of pointers on that. But in order to prevent the overheating and to allow you to be effective with your time, you must identify what is it you want to accomplish in a window that you've offered. There's a couple of reasons for doing that. Number 1, it gets your mind focused on what are we actually doing with this time. The general topic is often not enough. Be specific as possible. The other thing that it really does for you is it lets you know when you've reached the goal. The goal here isn't to try to do everything, no pun intended with the word twice. The goal isn't to try to do everything all at once. It's to make sure that the time you set aside gets used for the thing you specifically indicated so that you finish with achievement. I need you to assume a little bit less than what you think you can do. As you assume a little bit less than what you think you can do, then you don't overestimate. We all think we're so much better than we are, don't we? We think we're so efficient and effective, and we think if we write it down, it's just going to happen. Nah, it didn't work that way. So instead, assume a little bit less of each of the tasks, but also don't cheat yourself. What this is going to do is allow you the opportunity to accomplish those goals and have a sense, a psychological sense, a little release of dopamine. Hey, I accomplished something today. And that feeling, that euphoria that you feel from accomplishing something that's a part of a larger task, it gives you a little bit of your life back. And when you get a little bit of your life back, you feel better. And that's important because that helps you move on to the next task, knowing you did have something accomplished. It's concrete. You can come back and identify it. That's another secret. At the end of every day, go back and look and see what you accomplished before you plan the next day. When you have that sense of success inside of you, when it's time to plan the next day, you're carrying momentum with you that's going to assist you into the next day. This is all psychological because it's doable. And now you're making it work in momentum for you. It's like getting a win. Every time you get a win, you feel like you can take one more win. That's why it's so important that you are clearly identifying what the goals are in that time. You highlight and do it smaller. You make it more succinct. You shrink it down. You don't bloat the list at all. You accomplish those things, and then you are able to celebrate it later. The next thing I want you to do is a little bit tied into it, but it's the other part I was talking about. Establish a cutoff time. Everything you put on that calendar needs to have a cutoff time, and you need to have transition time in between. This process is called time blocking. Time blocking allows you to see realistically what's possible throughout your day, including commute time, including bathroom time, including snack time. Those are things that you naturally are going to do. Stop packing your schedule all out. You're not being more effective. You're being far less efficient. Trust me when I tell you, the research proves it. As a matter of fact, other countries are far more effective. They work far less hours, and they're more productive than we are. Just do a little bit of the research. As you time block, you are setting yourself up for success once again. You can go back and know exactly what you did. You know when it's time to start the next task, And a part of time blocking, we call it day mapping, is seeing what's coming up ahead, but you've made room for it so that whatever the goals were for the day, the clear thing you identified, you now know that you can accomplish them, and you go to bed feeling good about yourself instead of beating yourself across the head by what you didn't get done. The last thing that I want you to do, for some of you, especially if you're an entrepreneur, this one can be a little bit challenging. Delegate, 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 delegate. There's a couple things you need to know about delegating. Number one, you need to know exactly, again, what is it that you are doing that someone else could be doing? You just need to make a list of that. What are the things that you're doing that someone else could and should be doing in everything in your life? I remember one time in particular, I was working in this church and I had a full life and taking my children here and there. Someone offered to do laundry for us. I was kind of like, that's a weird request. They were like, listen, I have extra time in my day. I just want to serve and add value. They started doing laundry for us. Oh my God. That's like 3-4 hours a week just freed up. Then they went further and folded the clothes and put them away. Hello? Game changer. Delegate, 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 because you'd be surprised the smallest task you can give away to someone else, what it does for you and opens you up for all the greatness that you're capable of, even if it's just having more time to spend with your family and the people that you love. The other part of delegation that you've got to do, yes, delegate, delegate, delegate the things you are able to give off to someone else, but I need you to also delegate by systematizing. What are you doing every day at work, especially online, that could be put into a system, but you haven't set aside enough time to look and see, how can I systematize this? Anytime you refuse to systematize and it's based on you, your ego is all in the way and you can't get your time back. You've got to be willing to surrender, to up your education around how things work, technology and software. A little bit of Googling would help. Trust me, it'll take you a long way. But do the research so you can find out what systems are available, because you're not the only person doing what you're doing. You're just not. There are tools available to assist you in that process to help make it happen. It's your job to identify, what am I doing on a routine basis that can be put into a system and or possibly done more efficiently. Once you've identified that and you begin going down that road, once again, things begin to open up. And as things open up, you know what routine, all right, it's time to do this transaction. This is how it's going to happen. Boom, 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 boom. And you start using your calendar to help you sort through your day. When you get a system, everything changes. Those are 3 more tips that can help you get your time back. Listen, subscribe to the free group below where you can get in our group. I give a free call every week. There's a lot of community action around topics like these and how to make you a better you. In the meantime, hit the subscribe button below and don't forget to like and comment and then share it with someone you love.